Modern vampires of the city, anti blood, blood, blood.
Yo, Dre, thought I was dead. West Coast, I'm the doctor's advocate. Nigga, Dre shot you, brought me back from the dead. That's why they call him the doctor. The mask gon' drop him, and 50 ain't rockin' with him no more. It's okay, I get it poppin'. Whole club rockin' like a 6'4" Impala. Drink Chris, throw it up, call the shit hydraulic. Then piss in the cup, call the shit hypnotic. I bleed confident, spit crack and shit chronic. And you new niggas ain't shit but new niggas. Face the name.
Black shirt, there, carrots in my rear. Me and a couple man rolling up in the. Sing a song right now when I was a young guy. Up to this day, man, I'm trying to drag me under. With a bum, but you know that you can find me. I never change my number. I don't mind if these private callers wanna carry on flinging up my line. I'm happy to remind them that if that gal wants to see me on that one thing, I wanna be on that. Some jack off, ex-white gold chain, grip my track, push up. Man, if I be lost when I put his hands on my chain, found himself in a star, no crazy. And I miss the old no be southwest, holy the country. I'm kind of famous face, upstate. You want food, stare and dubsy. See that and think, trust on your cheek, what do you think I am? Me, I'm on a matty, you don't understand. Never will I sing to the fence like a fool man, I know. Snitch, no, fool, you got me. might have to tell ya. Juice Lord. You know we ain't cool one another. You don't deserve to decide when I'm gonna be a papa. However much I hate you, think I'm gonna sit around and watch the little one suffer? No, I ain't gonna lie, I'm always behind when you get on those floors. But when your belly popped out, you said it was my fault, you told me. Wanna say shit when I was kicking on your pelvis. I ain't trying to act up saying that I'm selfish. I ain't ready for the pick, I can't help it. It's too late to say I should've wore a helmet. I would love to be the perfect